Hello everyone and welcome to Meet the Experts. If you are looking for ways to reach multiple millions within your medical aesthetics practice, you are in the right place. Stay tuned because today I have a very special guest. He is Dr. John Omani, founder and CEO of Medesthetics in Canada, and he's going to be sharing with you his transformation about exactly how he reached multiple millions within his medical spa. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We are here today to discuss medical aesthetics transformations that you too can experience, where you can reach multiple millions within your practice. With us today is Dr. John Omani. He's here to share his success story and how he was able to reach multiple millions in a very short amount of time. So welcome, Dr. Omani. It's so great to have you with us.
Thanks, Dori.
It's great. So I know that you are a physician.
Yep.
How long have you been practicing medicine?
27 years.
27 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
And what made you decide you want to open up a medical spa?
That's a good question. So I would describe myself as a healthcare entrepreneur. Love getting involved with healthcare businesses, and wanted to find something I could do together with my wife, who loves aesthetics, and we're just thinking of different business opportunities that we could spend more time together, and this was the obvious choice for us.
Nice. Now I know that you took over an actual business,
Yep.
a medical spa. What shape was it in when you took it over?
It was in good shape it was owned by another physician, a physician colleague of mine, and her husband, who was a laser technician. So the two of them together worked it really hard and carved out a nice living for themselves. But they were getting to the end of their career, and probably were trying to think about exiting for a couple of years. So I think when a business starts to do that, then certain things may start to kind of fall by the wayside. And
Yeah.
you know, they were successful, but they were ready to retire.
Right.
Yeah.
But you made it a whole new level of success after you took it over.
Yeah. So in a way, like, they were doing everything, right? So, you know, between doing the laser to cleaning the floors, taking the garbage out, it was a two-person show in a way, with some support team, obviously. But really, the way we wanted to operate it would be totally different. So we wanted to run it as a business with proper business systems, and something that didn't require me to be on site 80 hours a week, because with my own family practice and other things I do, it wouldn't be possible. So I had to come up with a smart way to do it, an efficient way to do it, but still make sure that there was proper oversight.
Yes. So with that in mind, you went searching.
I went searching, yes. I mean, so the opportunity, they came to us actually initially. They knew some of the background that I had running other businesses, and they thought it would be a good fit for us. My wife had always said, if that business ever comes up for sale, we'd love to have a look at it. And so they came to us, but again, the more I spoke with them, the more I realized this is not like my family practice. So in Canada, we have called a Medicaid system. It's public funded, and you put your shingle up and you'll have thousands of people at your door, right? So the aesthetics business, as you know, does not work that way. It'd be great if it did. But so you can't apply the same principles I was applying through my medical practice to something that's more of a private.
Right. So to elaborate on this a little bit, because Canada's medical insurance is all paid by the country, by the state, and then where you have a cash business as a medical spa owner is totally different. You have to actually
Yes, you
work.
have to. Yes, you have to. You got to. There's a mindset that certainly as Canadians we have, is that we don't pay for health care. So they really have to think of this as something that's different. It is cosmetic, it's aesthetic, it's outside of the publicly funded realm. So, and that takes it takes people a bit of time to get their head around sometimes.
Yeah. So when you went searching, what were you searching for?
Well, I was searching for you.
And you found Dori.
Yes, and I found Dori. So I was doing my research. I was looking at successful clinics. I was looking at again, business systems, and looking at books, and I came across your books, and it was actually one of the EMR companies also had recommended you as well. So I went on your website, did my research, went on to the other websites of the companies that were also using you as for their business systems and consulting, and saw all the great success stories. And I kind of made a decision pretty quickly that I wasn't doing this without your help.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's a very important point right here, because a lot of people think that they can open up a place and just start running it without really good, solid structure and systems and strategies that we teach. So what do you think about you? What made you do that? Because a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be very disciplined and I'm very much a systems type of person. And I just researching success and failures and knowing and wanting to know how the successful clinics were successful and the ones that failed, why they failed. And, you know, I just saw, you know, even analyzing some of the physician-led clinics where they're mixing up both the revenues, and although they're one aspect of the practice, maybe their private practice is doing well, but their aesthetics business isn't doing well, and they're trying to, you know, putting money from one pot to the other, and that eventually does not work, right? But that's watching and seeing how systems aren't working. I needed a system.
Yeah. And you did all this like when COVID first hit.
Yeah.
Because I remember meeting you, and I remember when you joined and became a member, and you did something very unique that other people normally don't do.
Yeah.
You took over a business in the middle of a shutdown.
Yeah. So, and actually, when I think about it, that was a positive for us. I mean, I started a couple businesses during COVID because it allowed me to one, I could get, we could kind of negotiate on a price, and it was a good time to buy some certain business. There was so much uncertainty. Everybody thought the world was going to end.
Yes.
We knew it wouldn't. So that was a good time to try to get a better price for the business, but also freed me up a bit in my practice, because we went from, you know, seeing 60 patients a day in person to some virtual care that freed up a bit of time and allowed me to work from home at times and allow me to do other things. So I try to use that time as productively as possible.
Right.
So.
And I remember being productive. You put the entire team through Medspa University during the shutdown.
During the shutdown. So yeah, for me that was, I mean, most businesses, all the business that I know, especially the aesthetic business, all just shut down and closed their doors and just said, we'll wait till they opened again. We didn't know how long it would be. I was able to get some contractors into our space that we just recently purchased and said, let's use this time to complete renovation, like around-the-clock renovations, and let's go to Medspa Business University. And a lot of our team members, I won't say staff because you'll know that's not a word that we do not use that word. So we set out, we looked at your whole content, all the webinars, all the manuals, all the books, everything, and we kind of set ourselves into pods. And we had our guest relations team as a team, our laser techs as a team, injectors, our marketing team, and we spent time in groups every morning. You know, it was literally 40 hours a week. So 8 to 12, you were reading content, watching videos, and then we came together as a group and role played from 1 to 5. We did that for 8 weeks. Yeah. So it was pretty intense.
How valuable would it, you know, we're talking about taking a business that was not making multiple millions and you turned it into that. So really in 3 short years, you were able to reach over 3 million, which is most people's dream. Many people really don't do that. But having the fact that you sat down and you made everyone basically go through the Medspa University and study and rehearse and role play. How much of a foundation do you think that was? How important was that foundation to set you up for the launch of what you were able to accomplish for the past really 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, I attribute all the success to it, honestly. We couldn't have done it without it. We've allowed us to shift some employees out of the business, out of the practice, and they just weren't willing to transition from the previous model. And all the things that I'll be listening to you in the gym, listen to Dori's voice saying, you know, you're gonna get resistance. You're gonna tell you, I don't do sales. I'm a laser tech, or I'm an injector. Why am I selling? I wasn't hired to sell. And everything you said, all the arguments I was gonna hear, we heard, and we tried to coach and tried to kind of change that mindset. But eventually, there's certain people that can't be. You can't coach and you can't transition. So we lost a couple in the process, but everybody else came on board. And it really what is seeing how it's when we opened the doors, when we came back, and just seeing the success they have, you know, recommending products, seeing people walking out with products, knowing that they're on a commission base, knowing the word VPG, and just all the things that they hadn't heard about before. And they were able to see their own successes. So that just motivated the whole team.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes it so nice to work with someone like you, and especially your team. And as a member, we speak actually every single month. And what's nice about Dr. Omani is that he is there in these meetings as well with his manager, with his marketing manager. They come to these meetings with agendas, and we knock things out. And what I love about you guys is that you are implementers. And that's, I think, part of the hardest thing we have to do sometimes is let people know things are not going to happen by themselves. Like I can give you everything, but unless you take it and implement it, you're not going to get the results that you guys are getting. And I think that's one very important example, and I'm so glad you're here to share this, because first is you have to invest in education, and second, you have to get the team to really buy in on it, and third, you have to implement. So how difficult was it to really launch and implement and monitor? Can you share a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's if you do the work and you follow the systems, it's not that hard. So that's what it wasn't. I mean, because it's the way it should be. I mean, if you think about our typical day before we opened up, or for the first few weeks before we implemented your systems, it was people running in. The first clients are there, and people are running in 5 minutes late, and they're just like, "Hey, what are we doing?" And they're getting themselves together. We have a morning huddle. We know exactly who's coming in that day. We follow the systems. We have med spa dollars that are going out. Everybody's research how to cross-refer different services. So everything from beginning to end runs so much. It's smooth. It's smoother, and it takes the stress out of it when you have a system, and you answer the phone the same way every time. People are going for their consultations. Your members are coming in. It works much better. It was chaos before, and that's not the way I like to operate.
And the people that we work with, we have so many members that do follow it exactly and are experiencing this kind of success. And then you have some other people that have like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, and then they wonder why maybe they're not at the level of success. So for doing what you did, I mean, to reach, I think you said you did over 3 million last year. And to do it in such a short period of time, I think that's incredible. But one of the things we helped you implement, and that your team did such a great job at, is the membership model. Why don't you tell everybody about that and how that has totally impacted your cash flow in such a positive way?
I mean that's a game changer, right? So the way the previous owners had run the business, they ran 2 big sales per year. They banked a lot of money, and then they would be using that throughout the year. But that's, as you know, clients are coming in and buying services for what's on sale, not what's best for them. So they're waiting for sales, so they're not getting their treatments done. I think there may be a sale coming up in November or a spring sale, and that's not, for us. That wouldn't give us the best results for our clients. So again, following your method and doing all the research on your VIP programming, we launched our membership program. So it's called the Gem Membership Program. We have a Sapphire, Amethyst, and Jade. 20%, 15, 10% discounts on all services, and our clients invest in themselves and invest a certain amount each month, and they can use that. You can use that money as they wish throughout the year at the discount based on their level of on their membership level.
And how many members do you have now?
As of yesterday, we had 520 and growing, and we'll be at 600 no problem by the end of the year. And that's kind of where I was hoping we would be. That's my number I've been trying to get to, but I think
you're such an achiever.
Yeah, but I think we can keep on going. Well, I think I asked you who your top one was, so I said I had to beat them. So no, it's a natural kind of people. Every day, people want to join the program, and if they, there's always attrition, and it's people's life circumstances change. Interest rates, mortgages, and things. But we don't lose members because they say they didn't see value in the program. And we've always had a net gain. We've never had a net loss in our program. So, and if somebody can't, if somebody's put on hold, or they always come back, and they always want to come back. So we don't lose our clients, and we don't lose our members, and they love it. It's a community. They're treated. I mean, everybody's treated as a VIP in our clinic, but there's an extra.
It makes a difference. And now we're working to get you that 600 by having family memberships.
Yes, that's
so
a great idea.
So we're always changing and innovating and
we do membership
things.
Months and different bringing family members and it's great. So we gotta, I was gonna every coaching session we have, I'm saying, like, what else is Dori going to pull out? And every time she pulls out another gem, which honestly, we advance and we make progress every time we have a coaching session. So
Yeah. There are people that I work with that are my favorites.
Yeah.
And the ones that do come to the calls prepared, knowing, and that's what I love about you, is that you're a lot like me, actually. You're like,
let's go.
let's get it done.
Yeah.
Let's get going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can tell that the team feeds off of that energy.
Yeah.
And like your manager and your rest of the team and Melissa, your wife, I can just feel it. And I met another person the other day. They came to our seminar, Cassie.
Right. Yeah.
So they're all just, they buy in, and they're so hungry for the knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's a culture, really, that you have built.
Yeah.
And that's what makes a huge difference. So really, it starts from the top.
It does, and they have to feel the energy. And sometimes I'll walk in and I'll say, "Ladies, I don't feel the energy. Let's do it, right?" And because your clients can feel it, your customers feel it, and you just want to have that buzz around the office and the clinic, and you can feel it in our place. It's great.
And sometimes the team, unless you are giving them that input and that energy, then they start sliding down a little bit. But it's like never ending.
Yeah.
And would you say that has a lot to do with being with someone like a consulting firm that's helping, that keeps you on track, that holds you accountable? How valuable do you think that is?
Well, for us, it's very valuable. I mean, we all the way through the week, we put things aside. Okay, we got to talk to Dori about this, got to talk to Dori about that, and we're always running ideas past you, and just keep on reading. And all the information you provide, the education you provide is certainly invaluable. It gives us the confidence to do what we do every day. So it works. I mean, the fact is, it works. I was just looking at the investment that we've made with this, and every investment I make, I like to just look at my return and what's my return on investment, and it's 100 times return. So
I should charge you more.
Yeah, no, you should charge me more, but don't say that. But we look at your numbers, though. I mean, we look at how much we've grown, and we look at what comes out of a coaching session. So I try to think of it that way. So if we're prepping and planning an event, and we're going to do it a certain way, and we sit down and we go through it with you, and you say, "Have you thought about that?" And that's a $10,000. We've added $10,000 to the event, or over time's $100,000. So it really does pay for itself. So it's important that as you said before, having one foot in, one foot out. It's not a pick and choose. I'll do something. You have to do the whole thing, right? So that's one thing I'd tell anybody. You have to believe in it. And we joke that we're kind of disciples of Dori, but it's you can't argue with the results, right?
Yeah.
And so I would just encourage anybody to do it. If you do it like anything in life, do it properly, right?
Yeah. The biggest challenge sometimes for my team is, our process is somebody gets my book, and then we invite them for a coaching session to learn about their business, what their challenges are, and then we give advice as to what's the quickest way they can reach the goals and the success that they're looking for. And sometimes people just don't realize how important it is to invest in education. Yeah. Like if somebody told me invest $25,000, let's say, for a price of membership with us, and I'm gonna make you $3 million. Like if that was a stock, you would say,
"That's the best.
Sign
it's
me
the best
up."
investment you can make." Yeah.
Like how can you say no to that?
Yeah.
But that really surprises me sometimes, how many people don't realize the value of education and how important it is in their success.
Yeah. So every time we do, our coaching sessions, when we're listening to webinars, when we're just reading books, all the things that you provide, we see an uptick in our sales, right? So even when we do our in service, like let's say for some of our medical grade skincare, like that week the numbers go flying up, and then we have to reinforce it. Okay, remember how great we were last week because we gave you all that knowledge, and we got to keep on doing that. So that's why education is key, as everything in medicine and life is. We're always learning, right? But we have our teams, our injectors are always doing courses. We send them, we invest in that. You have to make sure that they feel supported, that they are, if they ever ask me, "Hey, can I do this course, or can we get this?" The answer is always yes. It's, unless it's we're going on a trip and we're not really doing much, but I
Yeah.
mean, they can have those trips as well. I mean, that's more of a kind of a reward for them.
Yeah.
But certainly, yeah, we're all about education,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what the coaching sessions are about. So that's your process as well. And we meet twice a month now. We have a end of month meeting, and then we'll have a mid-month kind of check-in, especially if somebody's not trending in the right direction, or we want to have some feedback, or if there's a new module we want somebody to look at. So
Yeah. It's very nice. To me, with some people that my team talks to, they feel that, oh yeah, I'm investing in my team, but they're only investing in clinical training.
Right.
And the important thing to realize is that you really have to invest in clinical training, but also in business training.
Yeah.
Because again, because they are medical professionals,
Yeah.
they're not thinking revenue generation.
Yeah.
They're not thinking, oh, I need to meet my goal financially for the business or even for my own performance. And I think that sometimes is a missing link for a lot of professionals. They don't realize how important that is.
Yeah, I mean, I was worried. I mean, again, I was worried when we first started your program. I worried that I was sharing too much information with our team on how much revenue is being generated, and that was my instinct was, just don't tell anybody anything, and realize that and listen to you, and that you're right. I mean, we have our VPGs, we have everything up on the whiteboard. We have I'm a big whiteboard person as well, and it's in our kitchen, so they can everybody knows where everybody's at, and it doesn't it creates some internal competition. But it's important that we talk very openly. This is what we did this month. This is what we grew. This is where we didn't grow. This is where we have to grow, and everybody feels invested in it. So it's. I don't do that in my other part of my practice. I don't do that in my medical practice. They don't know what's going in there. But here everybody's motivated, and everybody wants to. They love doing a great job. They love seeing the results, and they love being rewarded for it.
Yeah. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Well, you've done a phenomenal job, and your team is amazing.
Yeah, they're great.
I love working with them, and it shows. Once you put the systems in place, you implement the entire 7 steps to multiple 7 figures model, and you follow. You heard him mention VPG. That's how we track performance, volume per guest or revenue per guest. So all these KPIs that we help people implement are so important to the success of any medical spa. So tell everybody the phases. Like, did you think you'd be doing over 3 million like 2 years ago?
I was hoping, but no. But I mean, we basically doubled the revenue of the clinic. So, and it's growing. We're up. I mean, I set a target every year of 10%. Like after we doubled this year, I said we got to do 10%. We're trending above that again. So, it's. I mean, we set higher goals, but we are. It's the. Coming out of COVID, there was a big surge, and a lot of people were ready to spend. And looking around at other clinics, I've heard that they haven't been growing the way we've been growing. So what do we have different? Do we have the Dori method? And it does, because if you don't have a method, if you're just winging it, it's not going to work, right? And that's what you can't just open your doors and hope it's going to happen, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
We're growing nicely every year, and in a tough economy.
And the other thing I want to mention is that your population, because people make excuses for lack of success all the time. We hear it all the time. I have so much competition. I don't have a lot of people, this and that. So you are in a tiny little town.
We're in a very, it's 100,000 people. It would be the area.
Yeah.
It's oil refinery, so it's considered a very blue collar town per se. That's how people would describe the town. And there's a lot of providers and a lot of you can do a weekend course as a registered practical nurse, and you can open up and do injections very easily. And so the excuse you could have is like, how can I compete when they're doing it out of their basement and I have these overheads? But it doesn't. All they're doing is making you look better, really. So when they don't do it as well, and people come in, they want to. It's not just the outcome. It's walking in, feeling special, being welcomed as you come in, having your chocolate, having your drink, having your bag when you go home. Like all the special touches that you've advised your clients to do.
It's about the experience.
The experience, and it's so there's no reason. The way I look at it, the more people are doing it, the more people that are made aware of it. They're almost doing our marketing for us, and they're hearing about Botox at younger ages, and then they learn who's the best at doing it, and then they come to us, and we win them over. So I love competition.
Yes, me too.
Yeah. So
Me too. Never worry about competition. To us, we always say compete on expertise instead. And when you are the expert and you're the best of the best, people are gonna come to you.
And never worry about what other people charge. Don't worry about price. I mean, it's a race to the bottom. So don't get that mindset, and I don't care what people charge, right? I don't care what my competitors charge, because we're not them, right?
That's right. We don't want to be cheap.
So that's not the goal.
That's not the goal at all.
No.
So your wife works with you, Melissa.
Yep. So,
and she oversees the med spa.
Yeah, she's the face of it, really. So I love being, obviously, I like the business side of it. I love the marketing side of it. I love the procedure-based side of it as well. But I can only I'm not there 40 hours a week, and that's be more her role to be there. But I'm there every day. I'm on the phone every day. I am in and out. It's literally like a 3-minute walk from my office, so I can be back and forth at lunch, and then I do kind of dedicated sessions every week as well. So,
very nice.
Yeah.
One thing that you did that we advise people on, and I think made a big difference also in your business, is the marketing, having an internal marketing person. Sometimes people, no matter how much we tell them, they're still hiring some marketing company that doesn't really produce. They do a lot of stock things, just not very personalized. What impact do you think, or what would you tell someone who's watching, how important that one step was?
I mean, it's huge, right? So nobody knows. You need somebody internal. You look at the return on that investment. So it's multiples as well. Again, making a marketing plan, following the marketing plan, content marketing. You always talk about content marketing. Get them into your funnel. Don't be too salesy at the beginning. You want to then get them knowing or showing your expertise, and then have a conversion, something to get them to actually come and make that appointment, right? So call to action. So we follow your plan, and the person that we hired had a marketing background, but had never marketed in this industry, and he was so impressed with everything he learned from you as well. So it's a game changer. I wouldn't do this without having somebody. So we have a marketing person, and we also have a content provider as well, who's a graphic designer. She's doing videos constantly, and it's all about, you have to have your own content, right? And as you said, like if you ever see a stock photo on our website, you would be calling me up right away, I'm sure, right? So you're just getting testimonials, getting before and afters. Having loops, you have video loops, as you said, like something else we picked up from yours. Every room and every waiting room has a television loop, and it's just showing our before and afters, and that's a big part of it. So it's. I don't know how else you would do it. I made the mistake when I first started, because I used somebody in a previous business that was marketing for us, and it was just, they just don't know your business, right? And they're not there. You got to have somebody, hey, you got to come down and do this right now. You want to have somebody that can be there. It's part of and they feel like they're part of the team as well. So that's so important.
Yeah, it all goes back to what structure you actually implement in your business. And that's part of the 4 S's that we teach, right? Systems, structure, strategies, and solutions, which equals the 5th S, which is success. And that's what you get when you follow the model to a T, and you're able to implement it the way it's meant to be implemented. And I have to applaud you and your team on really doing such a great job with implementation.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. So what would you tell someone if they're thinking about opening, or maybe they're already open and they're looking to improve? What would you say to them as far as investing in a business firm like ours?
I mean, it's as I said, we've calculated, like, there's not many things you get 100% return on, right? So, and those we're working our numbers out and saying, like, what is the return on? We look at everything I do. I look at what's the return, right? So, I can't get a better return than this. So, so you can't beat it. So I don't know how you would do it unless you had a system. So, you can't. It's not. You will fail if you just think people will come. If you think that people like me, or I have a great injector. Well, that injector may not be there next week, right? So you have to have a system that is not dependent on one person, that people can come in and out of, and everything the business has to prevail, right? So I would be saying, contact Dori and her team, get a coaching session, an intake, and start the journey. So, I mean...
And we would love to have you be our next big success story, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure you have many more of them, right? So,
yeah. And that's really what makes us happy. That's the reward, actually, that we experience, is hearing those stories. That's what I think fuels us to keep going and keep innovating, keep trying new things. Like, we're doing a new seminar next month on marketing. You know, I'm continuously learning because I belong to mastermind groups and people that are smarter than I am, so I can keep teaching. But our next seminar is going to be all about new AI tools that you could use within your marketing strategies, the latest and the greatest. And that's really what innovation and growth is all about. Because if you just keep doing the same thing, what got you here is not going to get you to the next level. And that's why I think continued education and personal development and investing in oneself. You know, I invest between $50,000 to $80,000 a year on my education. And when I hear someone giving that as an objection, like, no, I'm not going to do this, it's like, what's wrong with you? I don't understand it.
I don't know how it's gonna work out, but it's yeah. I mean, you have to make the investment. I mean, you've already made the investment. You've already, you know, you're committing your life to it. People are putting their life savings into it. Why would you not take the advice of somebody who has a track record with, you know, when you're investing in a community as well, right? So you come to your events, you know, I have, like, our manager came down recently. She networked with like 15 other managers. They now have a WhatsApp group where they can connect with each other. We see new technology come out. Like, you know, when talk about advice to people, just don't jump in on every new technology. Step back, speak to, if you're part of this community, you get involved with Dori and her team. I've asked you about lots of technology over the last few years, and because, you know, you hear these returns, and, you know, it's you know, they're not factoring your business model, your overheads, and the numbers.
One you didn't ask me about.
I know. That's when I.
we won't talk about it.
I regret that one every day. So, but I won't make that mistake again. But yes, I don't know. I was a weak moment.
Funny.
I think you.
Well, thank you so much. And again, congratulations on your success and your team's success. It's an honor to work with you and help your team. And I look forward to you reaching 5 million.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Let's do it.
Thank Dori and her team. And honestly, we couldn't do it without you, honestly.
Thank you. We appreciate you as well. And it's nice that we're able to make a difference
thank you.
for you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you are inspired and that you see anything is possible. It does not matter where you live. It does not matter where you are right now. You can take exactly the process that we teach. You can implement it no matter where you are currently in your business, and you'll be able to achieve great success. So to help you out, I would love to invite you first to get a copy of my book in case you don't have it, Medical Aesthetics. This is my latest one. And also would love to invite you to go to InSPAration and sign up for a success planning session so one of my team members can get with you, discuss your challenges, and then be able to show you a path to where you too can reach multiple millions. So thank you so much for being with us on Meet the Experts. Thank you so much, Dr. Omani. It's a pleasure to have you here with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Until next time, stay inspired.